Clown Town podcast. We got a reoccurring guest here, Josh Kagan, and we have Seth Asher, big Boston sports fan, Celtics guy. We're gonna dive into Brady versus Belichick today, and a little bit of other stuff like should college athletes be paid, and a couple other things. I want to get a little background about Seth because this is his first time on the show. Seth, go ahead.
Oh yeah, my name's Seth Asher. I go to Westchester University, which is in Pennsylvania. So yeah, mainly a Celtics and Patriots guy, but it is what it is. So I'm excited to get going.
Let's do it. Let's dive right into Brady versus Belichick. The first question I have here is who is more valuable? And Kagan, I want to start with you on this.
Well, it depends. For the fans, it's definitely kind of Brady because he's a player and we get to see him. We get to see him play, and we've seen his legacy and how many championships he's brought. But again, from like a franchise perspective, it's always the coach because you can lose players, but if you have a GM and a head coach who sets the tone and basically decides the environment of the team and the mindset of the team, then you can have a fantastic franchise, just what the Patriots have done. I think it'll be pretty interesting to see the first year with them separate and see where each team gets.
Seth, what do you think?
I mean, this might be the first time I've ever just agreed with Kagan.
Whoa.
I mean, no, he hit the nail on the head, man.
There you go.
Whenever Brady hadn't been there that year with Matt Castle, I know they missed the playoffs, but they won 11 games. That usually gets you in the playoffs most other years. And then with Garoppolo and Brissett, they lost like one game, I think it was. So, I mean, we know Belichick can get it done with different quarterbacks. So, I mean, I think definitely for the football team, he's more valuable. But Tom Brady puts people in the stands. So,
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be very interesting to see. Tyler, what are your thoughts on this?
My answer is Belichick, and I recognize the argument that Brady's the person who brings people into the stands, but I think that Belichick may honestly be the first coach that brings fans into the stadium. It is very exciting. His facial expression isn't very exciting at all, and nothing really. He's not very presentable, but
dude, we get a kick out of Bill. Are you kidding me?
It's amazing, and you're watching a master work. And that should be exciting. I know it's not the stuff that gets you up out of your seat, but that's the stuff that, gets your mind going.
Yeah. Yeah, Belichick made Brady who the guy he is now. So I feel like it has to be Brady, and Belichick's more valuable. Yeah.
Also, going back to what Tiger said about Bill being entertaining, I mean, how iconic is the cutoff hoodie in New England? Like, does any other coach have as iconic of a thing as the hoodie?
Or I wasn't even thinking about this, but I've cut the sleeves off my own sweatshirt.
Or
I have
done Cincinnati.
I've done that to one of them.
After Bill said we're on to Cincinnati, like, it's as if he said that every single press conference after that.
Yeah.
Up too. They put that on T-shirts.
Yeah.
And do your job, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was Belichick. Yeah, I mean, it goes back and forth, but ultimately it's going to be this season that really kind of determines it, in my opinion. And then that brings us to our next point here. Who will have the better season? Will the Buccaneers with Tom Brady have the better season, or will the Pats? I want to start off with Higgy. Go ahead.
I mean, probably the Buccaneers. I mean, their offense is just a lot better than the Patriots right now. I mean, the Patriots have a good team, but they're gonna have a good season. It's just not gonna be what the Buccaneers is. Like Godwin, Evans, it's just stacked. It's like it's gonna be better than what Brady did last year with the Patriots. I feel like.
I agree. I think it'll be much better. Just so many players coming back for the Bucs, and then with Brady coming in, I think the Buccaneers were a 7-9 team last year. But how many of those games were lost because Jameis Winston couldn't keep it in his pants? A lot. And they certainly would have had a winning record if he didn't do what he did, and I'm not going to fill anybody in on what he did because everybody knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, he shot the bed.
Yeah.
But did he? I mean, led the
Absolutely.
league in yards, led 33 touchdowns. He didn't really.
He also led the league in interceptions.
Yeah,
30
you can't
interceptions.
say-
That's just it's inexcusable. It is. It's
You can't say that he did terrible last year when he led the league in yards and had 33 touchdowns. I know he had the 30 interceptions, but at the same time,
Yes, he's the reason they had 7 wins, but he's also the reason why they had 9 losses.
well, he's not the one. He's not the only reason. You can't say Jameis Winston's the only.
You put a run-of-the-mill quarterback. I think they honestly do a little bit better. He lost. They go 8-8. I'm even just looking at one play. The last play of the Buccaneers season was a pick 6 against the Falcons in overtime.
And they could have won that game too.
Easily.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't just throw it all on one player.
It's not all on Jameis, but it is a lot on him.
It's mainly
It's
on
not
Jameis.
mainly on Jameis. It's not. Like, you can say that, but at the same time, he threw 33 touchdowns. Like the
He
team.
put up a lot of points, but he gave up a lot of opportunities for points too.
Okay, but what are you gonna say about their defense? Like losing the ball, they let up all those points. I know we had those interceptions, but at the same time, all those points that the defense let up.
Well, if you throw a pick, then the other team.
Right.
No, I just said that.
No. If you throw a pick, then the other offense has better field position, so it's harder to get a stop on defense.
Okay, but there's also hundreds of other drives that he had that didn't end in picks that they let up touchdowns. You can't say it's 33 picks lost them like all of those other games. You just can't say that. You can say it lost them.
I'm not saying that he's the only one that caused them to be like that. He's a major contributor to their 7-9 record.
Yeah,
and it shows because he's not on the team anymore.
Yeah, I agree with you, Tiger. I mean that if you take out those interceptions,
If they didn't sign back Brady, I bet they would have signed back Jameis Winston. I don't see them just not keeping Winston around if Brady didn't sign there.
Yeah.
Who else are they going to get? There's
know.
really no one else they can get. They have Winston, led the league in passing yards, had 33 touchdowns. You can't just say, okay, well.
Well, I mean, with Winston, he thinks of himself as an elite starting quarterback. The Bucs clearly didn't see that. I mean, Joey, what did he say when the season ended?
Said at the end of this season, he said in the press conference, they asked him, one of the interviewers said, do you think you'll be back in this team? And he said, I better be back in this team. My stats speak for themselves. And that's all. And then he walked off. That's just
5,000 passing yards.
30 interceptions, though. That is insane. How bad that is. 30 interceptions is so bad.
One thing. It's like.
Yes, because that is it, though. That's the one thing that matters. 30 interceptions.
Not necessarily. It doesn't necessarily matter.
30 interceptions is
you guys saying that the only thing that matters is ridiculous.
It's not the only thing that matters.
But that's the only thing that matters.
Major
thing that matters.
It's up there. It's up there though.
You can't say that
30 interceptions. That team would be a playoff team
it's not actually the number one reason. Okay,
all right, then I'll stick by it. It is the number one then, because in my opinion, if you throw in 30 interceptions, I wouldn't want you, no matter how bad. You lost your team crucial games. They would have been a playoff team.
Oh, I don't know about that.
No.
Yeah, they definitely would have been a playoff team if you changed if a
I
couple
think
games
so,
were changed
because
around.
if you look at the issue with the main issue. This is why I'm saying this. The main thing is that they literally lost these games. They barely lost some of these games. 3 or 4 of these games, they barely lost. If he doesn't throw a pick 6 in overtime, great example.
He put up all those points to get them to the point. I mean, their defense could have.
But the point that he got them to was 7-9.
Okay, what is he supposed to do when you can say it's only interception that lost them these games? But the defense probably lost them. The defense let up all of these points. Every game was close. It's because of the defense. The defense, if they had let up one less touchdown per game,
Also, if Jameis
Right.
threw two less touchdowns,
I'm
two
gonna
less
I'm gonna
interceptions per game, their offense could have had better shot too. You could also say that if Jameis had changed a few more decisions, then it would have led to more games won.
I mean, you can also say that if he had a better coach that coached him in a way that didn't make him throw the ball like so many times in the game, that he just had to toss it up all the time to get them.
He didn't have to, though. He didn't have to, dude. He had good wide receivers. He had a solid offense, and he could have run if he wanted to. That's the whole point of a quarterback.
Think about
is
it
to throw
this
the
way.
football.
They don't have a good running back, so he basically has to throw it.
Think about it this way. You draft a guy, and he comes into the league starting in 2015. 2015, 6-10, 9-7, 5-11, 5-11, 7-9. A guy who has one winning season. Do you want to keep rolling with him when he's asking for buckets of money?
No. He's
No.
the guy to take for the right money.
No.
He
So
thinks he's elite, which is the sole issue that I have, is that the man thinks he's an elite quarterback. And then that is just outrageous to me. That is outrageous. Because he is so far from elite. It's not even
So far from elite? Okay, you can't say he's so far from elite. You can say that.
I think I can say
Okay, well,
he's so far
okay,
from
of
elite.
course you can say it because it's you talking. Good one. Okay, but he led the league in passing yards. He had 33 touchdowns. You keep bringing up the interceptions. Okay, led the league in passing yards. That's an elite stat.
Look at his record, dude.
Okay.
So you could look at Phillip Rivers' stats too, and you could be like, well, he's still an elite quarterback.
You're really going to talk about Phillip Rivers?
Yeah, he's like the best example of that. If Phillip Rivers was on a slightly better team, he'd probably have a Super Bowl ring.
That's
I love, dude. Phillip Rivers is
Why
good.
would
He's
you
a crybaby.
He's a reliable quarterback. He is a good.
He's a crybaby and a wimp only in the last few seasons. And he's had probably one of the most frustrating careers as a quarterback.
Yeah.
All right, here's the most annoying part about Phillip Rivers. The team moved to Los Angeles. He stayed in San Diego and drove because he didn't want to move his family. Then he moved his family to Florida only to play in Indianapolis. That, above all, is just so annoying.
Well, maybe his life just changed right now, dude.
Maybe
it's different now than like 2 years ago.
Maybe he wasn't planning on signing like with the Colts. Maybe he moved to Florida not thinking that he was going to sign, and then got
allowed to make his
after he had moved and was like, "Oh yeah, I guess I'll play with the Colts." I doubt he's going to drive from Florida to Indianapolis. He's definitely going to move to Indianapolis now.
All right, let's move on here. Let's move on to number 3 here. Should college athletes be paid? I'm going to start with Seth on this.
I definitively 100% yes, and I think I have a good analogy to explain it.
Go ahead.
I think college sports is basically a TV show. You have like a live audience they're watching, they put it on TV, it's basically a TV show. If like, I don't know, ABC or something, they went to make a new show and they just like went and found someone at a local theater that was an amateur and brought them, made them film a show, and then said, yeah, we're not going to pay you. They're generating profits for their university. They're generating profits for the TV deals and getting nothing in return.
That's not true. That's not true.
That's so debatable.
That's not true. That's not true. They get so much.
So what they're getting in return, hold on. What they're getting in return is a scholarship.
Well, no.
No, that's not. Dude. They get everything taken care of for them.
No.
They get academic tutors. They get academic assistants. They get academic help. Travel is paid for. Food is paid for. Clothing is paid for. Transportation is paid for.
NCAA changed their rule last year saying that athletes can now profit from brand sponsorships and endorsement deals now. They're not getting paid by the college, but they're going to be making money from in all these sponsorships and endorsement deals now. I mean, you like.
They get some of them have the opportunity to get grade A educations, come out with a degree.
Yeah, and most of them are getting full rides, Seth. Most of them are getting full rides. Like these top ones are getting
First of all, if they're any good and if you're a fan of any big school, they're already getting paid. So let's just recognize
just because they're doing it illegally doesn't mean that they should get paid in bribes.
Okay. How much? Let's value an education like 100. What the degree? If you stay all 4 years, like $130,000 at like some elite.
Depending on the school, like they're
Do
these
you
athletes
know?
we're talking
Okay.
about, Kentucky, fucking Duke, and more. I would say definitely more than that. A and B.
I
These
think
guys
they
are getting the opportunity. Most of these elite guys are getting the opportunity to get professional teams looked at. Look like they're all getting looked at by
these are
professional teams. They can
these are
go into the NBA, MLB, not MLB, but yeah, MLB, NFL. Also, they're all getting full rides, like these top ones. So like that, like you said, I value that a lot.
What
Like that
about
is a high value.
what about the full ride of the kid that's in the marching band or on an academic scholarship that can also still go out and have a job and get money?
I don't know what's your point
Dude,
there.
Because
that's
you're
not an
saying
organization,
Right.
Matt. The
that is
NCAA.
completely different. Like,
Yeah, I don't understand your point at all there.
because you said they're getting a free ride, right? To go to
Yes.
school. Okay. Why they shouldn't be paid is because they're amateurs. If you're getting a free ride for anything else, you can still earn money. And now they have one way to make any kind of money, which is like the maybe you make a commercial with like some local place, right? Profit off your likeness, that kind of thing. I think they should actually be paid by the university
I don't know.
as
I think that's
employees.
a little much.
I think that's a bit
No,
much
because
too.
that's because then it turns
They
into
voluntarily go
Okay.
onto the team, dude.
Hold
They
on.
voluntarily go to the
Here's
team.
why. No. Okay. So, one, if I think it's only for like men's college basketball, women's if they're a good enough team, and football because they generate revenue for the university.
So you're just
So, like,
singling out certain sports.
yes. Kagan, here's why. Because the swim team does not make money. They lose money having a swim team. Whatever other kind of team, you go on, they compete, 30 people show up and they are losing money on the program. But you have a big time football team, a big time basketball team, maybe women's basketball like UConn or Oregon or something. And those programs make the school money, and people go to those universities specifically because they see them playing sports. So that means they're adding value to the university, which means they should be compensated above other people for that
Okay,
value.
so my take on this is that they're compensated by not having to pay anything to live. They don't have to pay for groceries. They don't have to pay for an education. They don't have to pay for housing. They don't have to pay for transportation. They sometimes they get like treated by their coach to go somewhere. They don't have to buy like equipment. They get clothing, they get gear, they get free travel. Some companies will do promotions with the team and give them free stuff like headphones and audio gear and phones, and they'll get cases and shit like that. And all of this stuff, dude, is free. They don't have to pay for a lick of it. And yeah, they have to work extra hard because they're student athletes, and that's valuable. But I don't think that they should be getting paid. It's not their career. It's not their like end all be all job. Like they like to regulate it. Like they're at a university where they're getting an education. They're getting all this stuff paid for. That if they were not there, it would be way tougher to do that. I think they're compensated
I want to hear
super
Tiger's
well.
take on this.
So I have a not just a yes or no. I don't think that they should be paid to play the sport. I do think that if the NCAA wants to use their image and likeness for promotions, they should compensate.
Yeah,
They
they just
So
made that a thing, which should have been passed a long time ago. So I agree with that because in that case, in my eyes, it's kind of like if for the vast majority of athletes that don't go professional, then if they put too much time into being a college athlete and not as much time into their education, what they're going to be doing after, they don't have much to go from, even though they put a lot of time into their sport. And if they can profit I think they should be able to profit from their personal name rather than directly from getting paid by the school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with that.
All right, hold on. Let me put it this way. Hagen's an engineering student, right? So say Amazon has a program, all right, and they say, you can come out, work in Silicon Valley, we're going to pay you, right? It's going to be great, okay? Basically, that's the same to me as someone who has legitimate like professional sports aspirations, okay? Like one of these guys that is going
But
to be a
they're actually
professional.
going to Silicon Valley for a job. They're not going to a school to play a sport. That's completely different.
Yeah, so different. I feel like
This is
money.
very, very different,
if
buddy.
you're going to work for the summer, if you're going to work for the summer and not get paid, that's the same thing.
Oh my God! No, it's not.
Because you're generating money for the company.
No.
That's so, but it's so.
So
not.
Seth,
But
so
it's
Seth,
for
Seth,
the college
Seth,
athlete,
Seth,
though,
Seth,
dude.
here's a counter argument. If they get paid, if college athletes get paid a certain sum of money, then
Yeah.
I think it would be fair to make them pay for housing and their education.
There you go.
That costs something,
why?
man. That costs something. That costs the
That costs a
university.
Not going to
That
pay
costs
for
a ton
them
of
to go to
money.
their school and everything else, and then on top of all that, pay them more money.
I'm
Thank
not
So
you.
Seth,
saying
a lot
like
of companies.
a
There are
huge
not
amount.
many companies.
A couple
There are
hundred.
not many
$1,000,
companies
like what?
that are. There are not many professional. Seth,
Okay,
there are not many professional
They don't-
companies that are willing to pay for your transportation, your grocery bill, your rent, and your transportation and clothing and plus your salary. There are not many companies that will do that for all their employees. So this is
Yeah,
very,
it's
very
not.
different than going to work at Silicon Valley for a summer as a college intern.
A lot of the things you're listing, they can't. There's no. If you can't have like, they don't get groceries paid for. No one.
Yes, they
pays
do.
for
The
their
university,
They don't have-
most D1, at least for football and basketball, they have sports nutritionists who work with the school cafeteria. They have an athletic dining hall where all the athletes get meals. They get meals after practice, before practice. They can go get drinks, and they have dietitians specific to the team. So the university pays for these meals in an athletic dining hall for these athletes. They don't normally go to regular dining hall, at least in some D1 schools.
But that's all great, okay? And like when we pay for school, we pay for to have dining halls and all that stuff. But if you're a college athlete, you have a way to make money off your likeness. But a lot of guys aren't gonna have that. A lot of people, even in football and basketball, aren't good enough, even on the good teams, to have jerseys sold and things like that. So now you're at college, you have no way of making money.
But you don't need it. You don't need it. Everything's paid for.
You do get for free. You do get okay, but it's not your entire lifestyle. You get like a meal a day, like after practice. Okay, you get like, yeah, they can give you headphones, but what's the value of headphones if you can't make money to like go buy like actual groceries to actually eat more than just like what they give you at the facility? Because you need more than that.
You also have the money
more
that you're not
They-
spending on your tuition now.
Yep.
Who says they have money?
Who
That they're
says
not
they're all
spending on
completely
tuition?
broke sports players that just go to college and have zero money to their name and need this money from playing sports that they just like? It doesn't. That doesn't make any sense.
You're not valuing education here, Seth. And education is very valuable, especially these colleges that they're going to. You're talking about Duke, you're talking about Kentucky, you're talking about these huge top schools in the country that are like so expensive to go to that most people cannot afford that. Most people cannot afford that. You tell me you can afford BC, it's like $80,000 a year. No, you just can't.
It's also going to be different per school because each school is going to be able to pay each player a different amount of money. So it's going to be unfair for schools that won't be able to pay as much.
Exactly. And it's just going to become the NBA.
And
it's just going to come be the NBA, and it's just going to be a whole game again. And it's not – people watch college to get away from the NBA. The NBA is different from college.
I'm going to toss – hey. I'm going to toss this idea.
Because they're still going to be the only – people watch college instead of professional because there's no professional team in the area. Why is like college football so big in the South? Because a lot of those states don't have
necessarily
NFL teams. That's never
Seth,
going to change.
it's also in college, those athletes are also like mostly purely playing for the love of the game. So you get to throw out emotion
because no one's going to. They're paying quote unquote for the love of the game because no one's willing to pay them. They'll play for money because people want to pay them. A lot of them that go to these top schools think they're going to be good enough to play professional. That's not the love of the game. If you think that you're good enough to play professional, you're going so that.
Yeah, I know, but it changes.
I want to move on here, Kagan.
This is such a heated debate. This is such a good topic.
It is. That's why I want to move on so we have time for this last one, which I'm loving this last point. The NFL expanding the playoffs with 2 extra teams. What do we think about it to start off? And then I want to jump in. Like, do they have priorities straight? I want to definitely start with Tiger here. What do you think?
I like it. I think that it makes everything so much different now in the regular season, how you plan and how you prepare. It's a new step that nobody's really had to worry about for I don't even know how many years. It's something entirely new, and it's going to change the way that you play the season and the way you look at the season. And additionally, it's creating that top seed is now way more important.
You're also giving way more opportunities to teams that would never have made it because of the division that they're in.
That's true.
I just think that they have so like the main issue of the NFL, and I'm definitely biased here. I am, but is the referees. I think this past year,
What does that have to do with anything?
obviously What?
What
How
does
does
that
that have to
have
do?
to do
They
with
need
expanding
to
the
fix
playoffs
that
by
part
two
first.
extra teams?
Yeah, but
You need to focus. They probably spent a ton of time looking at that instead of figuring out the referee problem. I think they have such a fucking issue. They were so bad this past year, so bad. Of course, that's the whole game.
yeah, the
referees.
number of games that could have been changed by the right call have been atrocious.
Oh my god!
But it's also the human element of the game. That's what.
No, it's so bad. It's so bad.
Okay,
It's
can
so
you
bad.
want computers to be out there too and
No.
call every single
No,
thing out there? You don't
no,
want
but you should be able to reverse certain calls if it's extremely obvious. Yeah, there's
Okay,
a
that's
human
right,
aspect of games, but
that's
there
why
are
they can
certain
call it.
penalties and certain calls that are absolutely atrocious that like someone has to step in and be like, I mean, that's true. It is a brutal way to look at it, and that's just how it goes. But it's so tough to kind of know that one team got to go because of like one person's opinion on the game.
Every team
Just the main
How
issue
terrible
is that
no,
they can
no
pay
team
these
plays
guys.
with worse referees than other teams. Everyone has the same referees, and everyone gets the same chance to have calls on
Yeah.
them.
Okay. Yes. Doesn't make that they're doing a good job. They can pay these guys. That's the issue. That's the main issue that I'm having. Sean Payton for past 5 years has said that they can pay these guys. These guys should be having a full-time job, 9 to 5 job, all throughout the year. They can pay these guys. These guys are repping through the season, and the offseason they're finding new jobs because they need new jobs because they're not paying them enough money. They should have.
What does that have to do with how good they are at actually refereeing?
Oh, what are you talking about? If they're in their full year, if they're paying them for a full year, if they're going in 9 to 5 in the summer,
Off season,
learning more, studying more, getting taught more.
They already know what they're calling. They hear stuff, but they're not just not calling it because they don't know what it is.
They know all the rules.
Yeah, they know. I know they know the rules.
What they are.
I do kind of want to take Joey's side on this. I can see what you're saying here, where it's like if you clock in on Sunday, yes, you bring all this previous, you know the rules, right? You have your previous knowledge, but when the game's over, you clock out.
That's what everyone.
And that's it.
Single job.
So now you have 6 days or 5 days to do whatever. If you come in every single day, you can watch the full game in its entirety, or you can break it up. You can watch one quarter a day, and you can say, "Yep, we made the right call here." Oh no, I've never seen this before. Let's figure out how we can.
I think you're saying this as the referees do one game a week, and then say, "Okay, I'm just not going to think about football for the rest of the week." And then when they get to the game, they're like, "Clock in. All right, I'm back to referee mode." I doubt that happens. I don't think they leave the game and completely forget about football and just not even think about it at all and not look into what they're doing, I doubt they just leave. And yeah, it just doesn't make any sense.
But why aren't they getting paid for it?
Not-
Where's the incentive to go ahead and look at the tape and figure out what they're doing wrong? Where's the incentive if they're getting paid on Sunday from 12:30 to 3:30 or 4 or whenever?
To get better.
What's the incentive?
They'll be if they're bad.
So they have to get better on their own when it's a multi-billion-dollar
They get
company
better
that
on
they're
their own. What are you talking
employed
about?
at?
It doesn't make any sense. Better on their own, of course. It's their livelihood. It's the job
What-
they
if they're-
have. Of course they're going to want to
Good.
get better. They're not just going to be like, all right, well, I'm terrible. Who cares? They want to get better.
Yeah,
What's the incentive is to just do it on your own in your free time.
I mean, what else do you
I don't do my job. I don't do my job.
Okay,
when
well,
I'm not,
that's a different mindset.
Oof. I mean, that's a whole different debate.
If you
I
don't,
feel like
like,
that.
if you want to get better
am
on
I
your own,
for-
if you only want to get better because you're getting paid, that is a bad mindset.
So Higgy, go out
If
and
I
find referees that are going to do better on their own and go hire them for the NFL.
Okay, what am I supposed to go talk to every single referee and just be like, so are you gonna study it off when you're not playing? Is that what you're gonna do? Like when you're not getting paid, are you gonna study? What that doesn't make any sense. It's a mindset of people wanting to get better.
It just
And let's
in my,
Higgy, it's also
what I
not a
was
lot of
saying
their
is
main
that
job.
pretty much they have a problem. That's all I'm going to say. They have a problem with these referees. They have a problem.
It is a problem. You look at it and you go, okay, you clock in on Sunday. Are you willing to die for this company? No, they're getting paid one day.
But the referees, they went to college for this. What are you talking about?
What university did they
It's a
go to?
refereeing school. What are you talking about? No one.
Referee
Okay,
university?
that's the most idiotic thing I've ever heard in my entire life. You can actually go to school to learn how to become a referee. You don't just hire people on the street.
Yeah, of course you don't do that on your own. You
That's
go to
what I
school
just said.
for
What
it,
are you
but-
talking about?
There are no specific educational requirements to become an NFL referee.
Okay,
There you go.
that doesn't mean anything.
The course or whatever.
You don't go to college.
Okay, I got to get a
It is
blanket.
it is
for
expected that they would have
freezing cold
passed
take.
high school and would have a bachelor's degree. But NFL
What'd you say,
referees
Tiger?
must have
I
at
said
least
I
10
need to
years
get
of
a
officiating
blanket
experience.
for Higgy's freezing cold
Okay,
take.
Tiger, that is the most stupid thing I've ever heard in my entire life. None of
Higgy,
you're saying
the
makes
only
sense
the
at
only
all.
prior stuff
Mindset of people not wanting to get better unless they're getting paid is the coldest take I've ever heard in my entire life. That is the most idiotic thing I've ever heard in my entire life. If you want to work a job,
If somebody who works at Walmart clocks in at 9, clocks out at 5, are they willing to
are
die
you
for the
saying
company on their
Walmart
off time?
and a
Absolutely
NFL
not.
referee are the exact same thing? You think people that work a cashier at Walmart is the same exact thing as a referee for the
It's still a
National
job. They're
Football
both
League? That
jobs.
is an idiotic thing. to
Biggie,
say.
you're getting
They're
pretty off topic
jobs.
here. You're kind of
How is
going
that-
on to
how is that
expect.
off topic?
You're
How do you-
expecting
Okay, hold on.
these NFL refs to have a specific mindset. That's not really something that the NFL can like physically control. Like we're talking about things that the NFL should be doing to ensure that their referees are trying to do a better job.
I'm saying that people should want to get better.
If you're Higgy, if you're the boss at your company, I don't know what you do or what field you're in. If you're the boss, are you expecting all of your employees to get better on
kind
their
of.
own time?
Yes.
You want them to do the job that you hired them to do.
I
when they're
mean,
not
they
getting
want to
paid
get
for it?
better.
If you want to do Tiger, if you want to do something great, that is what you need to do. If you don't want to do something great, then you don't need to do that.
It's what you need, but is that what
I
you're
don't-
expected to
It's
do?
their passion.
So here's the
Their
argument.
passion,
Here's the
I feel
argument.
like a lot of these people is to be a
Here's-
referee in the NFL. And so once they get that job, they're thinking, okay, I want to be the best at this job I can be. And saying that they don't is stupid. It doesn't make sense.
But here's the thing, though.
But
Higgy.
now
Here's the
you're
thing.
you're
Here's the thing.
speaking like
Here's the
you're
thing.
an
What do you
NFL
think?
ref. You
Okay,
don't
I
know
don't
that.
know. I don't know a lot of
Here's
people,
the
but I
thing,
can
though.
say that a lot of people want to get better on their own and not want to get better just because they get paid for it.
But that shouldn't be the expectation.
But they're not,
that they
though.
have
But they're
to.
not. That's what I'm saying. This past year has been so
Okay.
bad. Something needs to be done. That's all I'm saying. Something needs to be done. And you can't rely on themselves taking control. You have to be able to pay them. That's what I'm saying. That's the argument that me and Tiger are saying, is that you can't rely on them to do that when there's no results, and that this is such the most important job probably in the game, in my opinion.
Wait, hold on. It's just talking about the NFL, all right? If players go to the offseason, they go into the summer, and they come back, and you know that they have done absolutely nothing, and they come back like out of shape, and they haven't been working on their game at all, you criticize them for not actually putting in work outside.
And they don't get paid.
Two different jobs, though. Two different jobs.
They get paid for the game that they play, and then after that, they don't get paid in the offseason.
They're getting paid.
Yeah, but they're getting paid.
They're not getting paid during the offseason.
They're going to get paid.
So what does that do?
They're getting paid way more money, though. They don't need. What I'm saying is because they don't need another job. They don't need to get paid because they're already getting paid multi-million-dollar contracts compared to these referees who have no incentive because they're not getting paid enough. That's the whole argument. That is not stupid. That
so
is
dumb. The mindset of saying that people don't want to get better on their own is so
Of course
stupid.
they want to get better on their own, but that shouldn't be the NFL looking, you guys need to do this on your own. We're not going to pay for it. We expect you to get better on your own. And if you want to be a great ref, you're going to have to get better on your own. But if you're the company, pay them.
Hey, look.
They've been so bad. That's why I'm saying they've been so bad.
I'm gonna put a little heart into your excitement into your argument here. I do agree they should be paid more. And first of all, it's a part-time job. Second of all, the median salary as of 2 years ago was $26,800. That is barely enough to do anything. That's what these referees are getting paid. And you have multi-billion-dollar organizations that can easily pay.
That's insane. I did not think it was that low.
These people.
That is outrageous.
They
That makes
basically
me
don't
even
do
more
anything.
mad.
The referees don't do anything?
No, Higgy, it's
They
not
work
that.
the
It's
week,
not the
16
importance of the. Listen.
I'm not
Higgy,
saying-
it's not the importance of the amount of hours that they put in. It's the value of what they do is important to the organization. If
The most important job in the game,
if they're
dude, it literally
paid
determines the outcome of a football
to
game.
get better and perform better and try to reduce the number of super silly missed calls or not, let's talk about it and figure out the right call, then it significantly changes the outcome of very important games.
But
It's not just about the number of hours that they're actually doing the job on
They don't
Sundays.
know what they're doing. It's what they see and what they don't see. You can't pay people to see stuff better.
That's also true. That's also true that they have a tough time. They're on the field view versus us is overhead. So there's also that.
Yeah,
But you can pay them. You can pay them to look at the situations.
Okay, they already look at the situation during the game.
Not even just the game that they refereed, that they officiated. You spend time looking at all 16 games. You say, this is something new. This is how...
$26,000. They're not going to do that. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't spend my time after.
No, that's what I'm saying. Is that you have
That's
to
a joke.
pay them if you want them to get better. If you give them a full-time position as a referee, that can be their expectation to look at all the tape. They're not going to do it in their free time. That's way too much. That's way too much to ask.
Tiger. It's pretty difficult to simulate.
Games, okay,
but
it's not about simulating. It's about looking at what has happened in the past.
Yes, you can do that, but that's from an above head view. Your view is in real time on the field, on the ground, is very different. And hindsight is 20/20, and you cannot.
But it's not about hindsight. Say one play happens in a Steelers-Texans game, and then the same exact week when it's Philadelphia and Dallas, the same exact thing happens.
Okay, but you
don't know what to do because you didn't look at the tape because you weren't getting paid.
True, Tiger. We're talking about plays that aren't called that should be. And in the moment, the ref maybe didn't see it or didn't see something that should have happened, and he's like, I didn't see it. It's not like in the middle of the moment you're gonna be like, oh, this is the exact situation that I saw at a different angle last week.
It is about the preparation that goes into it. You're studying tape just like players and coaches are.
More than NFL players. If you're saying that they should memorize every single play of every game for the entire season so they know exactly what's going on for every single...
You don't need to know every single play. You need to know the extraordinary plays, the brand new ones, the ones you've never seen before.
Yeah.
You need to visualize it, understand what it looks like, and then be able to make a judgment on that. I'm not looking for first down and 10, incomplete pass, nothing happened. Oh, log that one.
Yeah, okay, that's what I meant.
Yeah. Just the stuff,
That's
the
not what I meant.
extraordinary stuff that you've never seen before. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, exactly. And like the other thing is like looking at other plays, determining like you have to call it evenly for all plays. Am I like obviously right? So like I know I don't take my bias into consideration. I'm using this as an example.
Not gonna
but
bring
how
my
do you not call
bias
it
into
pass
this,
interference?
but one of the worst calls I've ever seen in my entire life.
But though Higgy though, but like how though? How is that not like as an NFL fan? Like look at that play. Like that's just insane.
I know it's bad.
Send them into the Super
I know
Bowl.
it's bad.
Like that, I don't
Human
want to
error.
that
What do you
part,
want?
But I'm
What do
just
you want?
saying, like that. Oh, human error to sham a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
What about the rest of the game that happened after that?
But you just had. I'm talking about this play. I'm talking about the fucking call.
Yeah,
Talking about the call. Yes, obviously, we could have won the game in overtime. Obviously, we should have. We fucked up. Obviously, 100%. Saying fucked up. 100%. I agree with you. They could have won the game in overtime. But if they make that call, the game is over.
Was it in the end zone? Was it on a play that, if they catch this, they're in the end zone to win the game? I don't think so.
What are you talking about? If they call the pass interference that was blatant, it goes 1st and 10. They have 2 timeouts left. It's at the minute and 19 seconds left in the game.
That's
wind it down to 20
score,
seconds.
and you can't expect a team to score there.
A field goal, I'm saying.
A
field goal. I'm saying they take a field goal with 20 seconds left compared to a minute 19 on the clock.
As an NFL referee on the sidelines and calling every single perfect play like you're saying.
Oh my God. Oh, dude, if you're
telling me
right
right
now that was the right call,
I said that it was human error.
What to say?
That when did I ever say? If you rewind the tape, when did I ever say, "Oh yeah, that was a good call"? I said that it was a bad call. It was human error, but it's the same thing that happens for every other team in the league.
I agree with you.
Not the Patriots. Patriots get every fucking call
into it, and then brings up the Patriots getting every single call. Okay.
Hey Joe, it's not just the Saints that don't get calls. There are other teams that don't get calls too, buddy.
Yes, obviously. I'm just using that as an example. Obviously, all teams don't get calls. That's what I'm saying. But they just need to be. The referees need to be better. They're literally. I'm just saying. That's what I'm saying. Something needs to be done. I'm an umpire, right? I'm getting paid $19, $20 a game. I'm not gonna go and fucking and study off.
You're a high school.
You don't work for $1 billion
referee. That is completely different than being a professional umpire. That is completely different. OG, what do you want them to pay you thousands of dollars to be a referee? So you can be.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
I'm getting paid all this money, so I can
that as an example.
Study this. That's so stupid.
Higgy, I think you're kind of missing the point, buddy.
I'm with referees.
You're missing the point. That's all I'm saying. If you think that $26,000 is enough for these referees, the NFL players are getting paid millions, then
they basically work just on Sundays. 16 games. When jobs usually don't work anyway.
Okay. Higgy, the importance of what they do is important. They need to get these calls right. But but I do agree with you. There are calls, but that they just missed. There are calls that they just missed. However, the number has seemed to skyrocket in everyday games. It seems to continue to rise.
All right, I'm going to end this. I'm going to end this. All right, it was great points.
Okay.
Dude, we're going up. It's 45 minutes.
All right, fine. End it. Okay, end it. No, I'm done, Joe.
What else do you have to say? Go ahead. Okay, great. I thought we had great conversations today.
Kagan's an idiot.
No, Seth, dude, you're
all right. Well, we appreciate everything
about the athletes getting paid was ridiculous. Dude, your argument against that was insane.
Okay, but you did say Kagan's an idiot. All right.
Hey.
Good. We had good conversations. Good conversations, boys. Thank you for coming on the show, Seth and Kagan. Definitely want to have you back on again. Tune in for episode 9 tomorrow. We have a special guest. Stay tuned. Thanks, guys.